We're talking about life, and I want you to write this down, please. Maximize your time. Maximize your time. I had a plan of action that Wayne Dyer and I were planning on doing a PBS special. And we kept pushing the date back when we would have that meeting. We took it for granted that both of us would be here. And he was coming to Orlando, where I live. And so at this stage of my life, I want to talk to you about maximizing your time. People talk about goals and success, but Aurelia said, and I think it's real, stop living like you have 1,000 years to live. And I'm 70 years old. And so thank you, yeah. And they said life is interesting, that the older you get, it seems like the time moves faster. It's been an interesting experience. So I want to share with you some things that I've learned over these 70 years of doing this. And I want you to think about some goals and dreams that you'd like to achieve. And I want you to shake someone's hand on your right and left, look them in the eyes and say, you have greatness in you. Do that right now. Shake someone's hand and say, you have greatness within you. And so as you think about your goals and dreams, that what's important is that I want you to get a 3x5 card and get it today. And on one side, have the major goal that you want to achieve. Major goal that you want to achieve. And right under that goal, a picture of it. I want you to write under that, I give thanks for the accomplishment of my goal, as if it's already done. All right? Write this down. Assume that you've already done it. You want to have an attitude that I've done this already. Goals are accomplished twice. First in the mind, and then in the without. I needed to know whether or not these principles worked. Given the circumstances that I was born in, I needed to see and use myself as an experiment. Now my children are speakers and trainers and authors. And so I can tell you, based upon my experience, things I share with you, I don't believe these things. These are things that I know. I earn more in 1 hour than 90% of the American public earn working for a whole year using these principles. And I'm not telling you this to impress you, but to impress upon you, you have greatness within you. Every day to program my mind for success. You have to program your mind for success. And then I had to create some value. I had to learn how to begin to speak the language of corporations. I had to learn how to begin to carry myself differently and dress differently. But most important, I had to act like I was the man. I had to act like this is my time. I own my life. I had to start thinking I have the ability to do this, and I had the mindset that I'm unstoppable. Write this down and write the statement, I'm unstoppable. You got to make up your mind to get ready to go big. You can't fit a big life into a small vision. You have to have an expanded vision of yourself. You have to believe and understand what Einstein meant when he said that the imagination is a preview of what's to come. Live in your imagination. See these things happening for you and have a conviction that it's yours. Have a conviction that it's your time. There will always be distractions. The key is don't focus on the distractions. The key is to keep going. The key is to keep your mind focused on what you want to create, a brand new life. The key when you run into no's and rejections and people who promise, oh, I'll be there, you can believe, I will support you, oh yes, I'm interested, and they don't show up, don't focus on that. Don't focus on the rejections. Don't focus on the no's. The key is to focus on that vision that you have in your mind of that brand new home, in your mind of that brand new car, in your mind of being able to control your own financial future. That's what's important, because, and write this down, what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. And so, The key is with your story, the key with your energy signature, and write this down, this is major, is to create an experience. See, a lot of people think, oh, I don't have a college education. I didn't do this for 14 years. I don't have a college education. How can I compete with people with PhDs and MBAs? There's no way that AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric will reach over people with credentials and experience that I don't have and hire me to come in and teach them how to do something I've never done. How many ever thought about something you wanted to do and you talk yourself out of it? Raise your hands, please. So that's what I did for 14 years. I just could not see. It becomes the strongest. If you focus on your bills, if you focus on the negativity, the people who say, no, this can't work, that will become more powerful in your mind. I'm telling you what I know. Had I listened to those negative thoughts in my head or the negative people around me, I would not be here now. How many of you are leaders? Raise your hands, please. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Raise your hands, please. How many of you are ever involved in presenting for people? Raise your hands, please. Very good. So I'm going to share some techniques and strategies with you on how to begin to impact people more when you present. How many of you like to learn how to do that? Raise your hands. How many of you like to learn how you can begin to become a resource for people and be seen as a global voice of change? Raise your hands. And the things that I'm going to share with you, this will be your best year ever. Trust me on this. This will be your best year ever. How many of you agree with me on that? Yes. Very, very good. So I'm going to share with you this being involved in business and as an entrepreneur, things that I've learned that has literally changed my life. You have a story. Write this down. Energy signature. You have an energy signature. Your story can be something you've experienced. Your story can be something that you've observed. Your story can be somebody else's story. A friend of mine by the name of Kim went to go to a meeting that in this particular meeting she would be negotiating a new contract for herself. And as a person in business, this was something she was excited about doing. And things did not turn out the way that she wanted them to be. How many of you had something that was set up for you? You thought it was going to turn out one way and it turned out to be another way. Raise your hands, please. Write this down. Transition. I got the contract, created my business. I was doing multi-level marketing at a time that most of you weren't even born. This is early on with Best Line Products and Dare to Be Great. Different other people that were involved in the industry, the early stages of the game. And generating income for his family. How many of you like to be able to generate income for your family after you're gone? Raise your hands, please. Okay, be able to make an impact after you're gone. Does that make sense to you? Is that something to work toward? Most people just trying to survive. Most people, when they die, they leave liabilities rather than build a legacy. And so being here, this organization is designed to help you to build a legacy. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, I'm ready for that. Do that right now. Say, I'm ready for that.